Alright, we should be live now. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Can you hear me? This is your boy Mitchell Mander. You're coming out with another live stream for Pokemon Horizons, another live discussion, I should say, for episode 129 in today's live discussion. We have Roy and Ult versus Rayquaza, terrestrialized Rayquaza, and with Roy catching Rayquaza. Oof. What an episode. But before we get started here, I just want to say a few things, especially if you're someone that's new and you're coming across the stream for the first time. A little bit of what we do here is I usually give it about 5 to 10 minutes for people to kind of show up in the chat, after which point I go ahead and do my summary of the episode, my thoughts on the episode. And yeah, we usually go on, I sign a rating and give it over the chat, and then we go on for about an hour and a half, and yeah, fun times. Usually have a good old time here. Another thing is the music you hear from the background. In the background comes from the Video Game Study Lounge by Game Shops. Lo-fi remixes of video game music, along with some originals sprinkled in here and there. You should check it out sometime. It's cool stuff. Also, do me a favor and hit that like button if you haven't already. You could also sub if you haven't. I imagine most people that are here have already subscribed to the channel. But make sure you're liking the stream. Let's try to get 10 likes up in here. Also, remember to vote in the poll. And currently, we have 10-9 overwhelmingly winning with 8 votes total. 1 vote for 8-7, and then the rest going to 10-9. Well, 9 votes now, it looks like. So yeah, cast your votes. Now, with that all said, let's see who's all here. We got Beast Mode God, 10 out of 10 finally happened. Roy caught the legendary Rayquaza. Give me 1 second. I'm actually going to turn down the music just slightly. It's a slight bit too loud. Anyways, great for our boy. The writers for seeing the tremendous potential in Roy, the dragon catcher. Right? Any fan? Hey, what's up? Sharon. Roy achieved his goal. Got the titles for episode 131, 132. Yeah, I already know. I know. I've known since I woke up this morning. Yeah, he did. Roy having 2 shinies. Yep. Now the question will be, will he release at the end of the series? I don't know. Jimmy James. Hey, hi. So, Jimmy, are you going to say more than just hi? Or are you just going to just say hi and dip? Hello, dog. Hey, what's up, Thomas? What I expected happened. Roy caught Ray as a technicality, but is not an active member of his regular team. I mean, technically he is, like, his Pokemon now, but, like, it's kind of like with Go and Suicune, where he basically roams around. But he's pretty much going to get the other hero Pokemon, and we're getting ready to go to Rayquaza here soon. Considering how Gen 10 is not coming out next year, I can't see Horizons going on for another... I can't see Horizons going on for another year. What? I don't know what you mean, Sharon. Could you elaborate why? It's pretty clear that unless Horizon's just suddenly ending, I think it's going on for a little while still. Who's ready for the 1-hour special episode on March 13th? Not ready. I want to get the next episode first. What's going on outside? These dogs are going crazy next door. Rayquaza off roaming the world. March 20th, no episode. I don't... Has that been confirmed? There's no episode that day? Pikachu. Okay, Jimmy. Are you gonna contribute to the chat? Yeah or no? Yes or no? Besides, like, just saying just one word stuff. Okay. Anyways, Roy uses Rayquaza to battle Mona. Yeah, oof, it's over. Liko and catch the other hero Pokemon. I don't know. I mean, Liko's already got Terapagos. Roy finally achieved his dream of catching Rayquaza, something that has eluded him since Season 1 of Horizons. Coca-Cola. Gen 10 is coming in 2027. Horizons giving the vibe that it is ending April 2026. So is the anime just ending then? I mean, this just feels like the end game of how rushed the pacing has been. I mean, you don't know that though. You're kind of just assuming that the series is just ending. How about we wait until we get some more information, which apparently we are going to get more information on March 13th. Just saying. All the characters, Pokemon fully evolved, and so excited to watch your streams. Pokemon Horizon episode discussed every Saturday, 12 p.m. Yep. A character's absent father has been revealed. It's a miracle, right? More on that in a minute. And we got a trailer for Gen 10, so why would they release a trailer for Gen 10 if it's not coming out for 20 months? It just seems too long. I don't understand what you mean. It's basically just showing off the game right now. I mean, they want to... I'm glad that they're doing that. It's just... Do we really want the game to come out and be like Scarlet and Violet 2.0? Is that what we really want? Give it another year to cook. And make the best product you can. They're actually doing the best thing they can for the games. Basically, by the way, hey, what's going on, Coca-Cola? Basically, we're unsure if Horizon is going to continue since they can't give us Gen 10 anime this year. Anyway, Horizon is going to end in April since they're already going to Lukura to fix everything. Well, again, we don't know if Horizons is ending. Let's wait until we get further information, please, and thanks. Because everybody keeps going like, oh, Horizon's going to end. Oh, it's got extended for a year. Oh, it's ending, though. But Horizon, yeah. No. Let's just wait for more information, guys. I am telling you right now. I'm going to laugh if we get in a week or two we get more information and it's like, oh, Horizons is indeed, still carrying on. They're just doing a new story arc or something for the remainder of its time. Let's just wait until we get more info. I just don't... The Darth Spartatius... I don't like how he's a legendary Pokemon shiny and aura. It just feels like he's been given it. I'm confused. What do you mean he's been given everything? He worked for everything he's gotten though, dude. He literally worked to actually get Lucario's approval in those 3 special episodes. So, and Lucario went with him as a result. It was through his own effort. And then Rayquaza, he's been built up for a while. He's battled it several times. And at this point, he's stronger than he was when he faced off against Rayquaza. So I think it's kind of justified here. I'm so happy that Gen 10 is coming late 2027. Finally, they're giving the game time to bake. Yeah, we're assuming it's late 2027. It could be summer 2027 for all we know, but they always release their games in the holiday season for maximum sales potential. The Gen 10 is released in early 2027, January, April. Your opinion on the dub? Which dub is superior, Japanese or English? I prefer Japanese. That's just my opinion, just because it's the original source and. They tend to be, what's the word? The music tends to be, a little bit better than the dub. Just saying. Don't mind the dub so much, but yeah. Alright, I'm going to read a few more comments before we kind of get off track, and then we're going to go on and actually talk about the episode. Gen 10 anime goes from 2027 to 2031. We'll see. Liko has Terapagos, and Methio has Zygarde, so it fits for Roy to have Rayquaza. Exactly. People pointed out that it's like the next generation of trainers actually took on those Pokemon. You know, Liko got Terapagos from her great-great-grandmother. You know, Roy got Rayquaza from Lucius, and then Methio got Zygarde from his grandfather, so nice. Kind of interesting how it worked out that way. And the Pokemon Horizons anime has just finally broken the 30-year anime curse, yep. Yo, what's up, Harlster? Same here, 7 out of 10 episode, enjoyed the episode. Gotcha. Like the battle, though, with Flamethrower knocking out Rayquaza, like that is kind of lame. We're gonna get to this. I disagree, but that's just me. 7 out of 10 episodes for me. Okay, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my thoughts about this episode. So we're gonna stop right there with Sharon's 7 out of 10 comment. And then we will resume with the chat in a little bit. Feel free to keep chatting, but I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on this episode. So, we've arrived back at the Dragon's Den. We meet up with the that dragon gang from way back when. And it's actually kind of funny. We have some kind of interesting reveals here because we find out who Alt's dad is. It's actually like his name is Salt. So Salt and his son Alt. Yeah. And the guy was a dragon tamer. And you know that was his Dragonite. And apparently he also befriended an Alolan dog trio and traveled along with it or something like that. It was kind of interesting. And it was also kind of funny because they said like, "Oh, you're not Salt's son. If you were, we heard he had a kid that had a like heart-shaped mole on his butt." And Alt immediately like reacts in a way to where everyone's like, wait a second, no way." So yep, his dad was actually revealed. So maybe we'll get more on him in a later date. I guess that's to be seen. Anyways, we go hang out with Rayquaza here, who's getting better, but still not fully recovered. But it turns out that Freed gave it a fresh meteorite, and Rayquaza loves meteorites and gets fully restored from that. And also, Terapagos sees his buddy again, fills him up on what's going on, that the hero Pokemon, the other hero Pokemon have been saved. So they decide to have a battle with Rayquaza, and it's to determine who's going to own the Black Rayquaza. Will it be Roy or will it be Alt? So the battle starts out with Kilowattrel and Dragonite, but Dragon Tail from Rayquaza actually smacks Dragonite in the face, and Sableye gets taken out. And they're struggling quite a bit. None of their attacks seem to be reaching, but they actually manage to get one attack in. And then Draco Meteor ends up taking out Kilowattrel and Sableye. Dang. Anyways, we move on to Lucario and Dragonite. And they actually do pretty good. I actually like the fact that Dragonite was actually distracting Rayquaza enough for Lucario to run up it and actually smack it right in the face. They actually get some good shots in on Rayquaza here, and then Rayquaza uses Draco Meteor again, and it's kind of interesting that Lucario was actually smacking the Draco meteorites around so it doesn't impact them, while Dragonite recovers after using Hyper Beam. And then it's also interesting. I also like the part where Dragonite actually uses Twister once again. Using Twister in a unique way by taking Draco Meteor and turning it on Rayquaza, though Rayquaza ends up just flying away and using Dragon Ascent. And they try to brace it. They try to brace for it, but yeah, it does not go so well. And they get smacked, and then Lucario gets smacked around and just knocked against and blasted against the wall. So Lucario's out. So Roy's down to his last Pokemon, Skellydirge. And you know, once again, they're both fight. Well, Dragonite's mostly down at this point. You know, Skellydirge is attacking, trying to sing its way over to get to Rayquaza over here, and I like how he used Dazzling Gleam. Initially doesn't reach Rayquaza, but Roy also, you know, has an Ash moment where he literally uses the little mini crater that was formed from, you know, Rayquaza knocking Lucario into the wall and then blasting it, using it to actually direct the Dazzling Gleam right at Rayquaza, and actually gets it. There is one point where a rock almost hits Skellydirge, and Dragonite actually takes the fall for it. And Alt is officially out of the battle. So then we have Rayquaza using Dragon Ascent again. And it's actually really neat what Roy does here. He uses various different moves here to slow down Dragon Ascent. So he also Terastallizes Skellydirge here, who actually manages to grab onto Rayquaza. And Rayquaza at this point has taken several different hits here. But Skellydirge basically has it point blank, and it blasts it with a flamethrower, defeating it. And with that, Rayquaza has acknowledged Roy. So Roy ends up catching Rayquaza in a Pokeball. Could have used an Ultra Ball, but he got a pull go and used just a regular old Pokeball. So, yeah, Roy has caught Dragonite, shocking everyone. Alt is a little bit upset, but he decides to kind of let it go. And congratulates Roy. Kind of showing a little bit of maturity and growth on Alt's end as well. And then Rayquaza flies off. That way it can go and gather the other hero Pokemon. And also, the fact of the matter is, if Roy just held on to Rayquaza, yeah, he'd be pretty much unstoppable. Honestly, enter any tournament at that point, just give him the trophy. Just give him the trophy at that point. But anyways, then they all, the Dragon Gang just, you know, leaves. I don't know what to say here, but, actually end up congratulating them and, talking to Ol for a second too. But, anyways, Roy and the others are on their way back to Paldea to meet up with Dot and the others, and that's where this episode comes to an end. So, in my opinion, I love this episode. I thought it was a really good episode, personally. I had a good time with it. The reveal about Alt's dad was interesting. The only part in the battle I didn't really care for was Kilowattrel and Kilowattrel and Sableye getting taken out, because they're like, oh, Draco Meter, we gotta avoid that. Proceeds to not avoid that and goes down. So I thought that was like the one lame part in the episode, but yeah, I enjoyed this one. I know some people might not like the result at the end, but I think the way it was done was pretty well done, especially considering it just shows how far Roy has come since the first time he fought Rayquaza, with Fuecoco actually getting a good hit on it back then. Skellydirge has definitely earned itself amongst the best Pokemans out there, is because yeah, it literally fought Rayquaza throughout its evolution line, as a little Fuecoco to Crocolar to literally Skellydirge. So yeah, for me, I love this episode, 9 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. So what are your guys' thoughts? Let's see if we can get caught up on the chat. You guys went crazy, so we've got quite a few people here. So let's see if I can get caught back up. Probably not, but we're gonna try anyways. An amped up flamethrower. Yep. Let's get you to your thoughts. Yep. No, I just did. Amped up flamethrower. 2 hits from Torch Song. Don't forget about Rayquaza using Draco Meteor and Dragon Ascent, which lowers special defense. Yep. Although that's game logic still. I'm questing the Mega Stone for Way in the meteorite. Is in the meteorite. I guess we'll see. Salt is Alt's father. Salt, Alt, and his mom, Malt. That would be something. Dragon looks cool. Had no issues with his battle, Roy. And Alt worked great together and with great strategies. Rayquaza took damage before that, and it was lowering its stats with moves like Dracometer. Exactly. It was using it over and over again. We have Gen 10 released in 2027. What does it mean for the anime? Probably is going to be going on longer than expected. Would be my expectation. Plus, these two have only been getting stronger, while Rayquaza has not been getting stronger at all. Right. It's been kind of chilling for a year. So it could also be a little on the rusty side. Maybe they can do Horizons with different characters in a different story arc for a year. We'll see. I'm gonna probably make a video probably in the next week or so about my thoughts and what could be next for Horizons. If anything, that meteorite gave it back the strength it had at the beginning, but not stronger than that, right? It just restored it. It made it healthy again. Look, folks, the Gen 10 anime will possibly come out in 2027 after the Gen 10 games come out that same year. Kari was using Aura to sense Rayquaza. Either they go on break for a while, or the more likely option Horizon goes on for another year. What they do, though, I have no idea. Well, we'll learn soon enough, right? We'll be getting, just like last year, it was about 2 weeks after after we got that Roy Mega Shiny Lucario tease. 2 weeks later, we got the poster for Mega Voltage. So my expectation is probably 2 weeks from Pokemon Day, which I believe is the day that the 1 hour special airs. We're supposed to be learning something that day. So dang it, I'm gonna have to wake up. I would say I wake up. Yeah. Oh yeah, the time change is happening. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do a video at that point, though. I'll have to try and, like, hammer it out before I start work that day. Villagers is a tank. Roy could ride Rayquaza as a transport mon. Villagers is a tank. He has a disarming voice. He is a tank, yes. You know, it's funny, too. Skellydirge, I believe, weighs more than Rayquaza. That's Pokemon logic for you. So I guess it makes sense he was able to actually grab on the Rayquaza and stop it. And lower special attack and Dragon Ascent lower special defense. So he's basically nerfing himself throughout the battle. I feel like Lucario is getting something in the future because it's been losing a lot. And we see Lucario wasn't a happy doggo after the recent Nimona loss, right? Villagers is indeed a tank in battle. That's Roy for ya. Unless we have no clue why we see it fighting a Hawlucha. Yeah, that if that even like amounts to anything. You know, the openings sometimes don't always show things off, but so far in Horizon they have. So I don't know. Unless like unless that Hawlucha belongs like freed or something. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Rayquaza special attack is lower. Yeah, yep. Maybe they will do Legend ZA arc with Roy battling Karina from Legend ZA and getting Mega Lucario Z. I don't know about that, but I guess we'll see. I feel like they've already done the ZA representation in the anime, though. They could do a little bit more, though, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. They do have to fill in potentially a year or so. But the MVP... Oh. The MVP for this episode for me was actually Alt. He was clutch in the battle, and the way his character was handled this episode was nothing short of incredible. Yeah, they did a good job with Alt. He definitely showed maturity in this episode, which is a good thing. Are the MVPs of 29. Learning about Alt's father was interesting. Plus, the Alt stuff with his dad really feels like they were setting up stuff for Alt as a way to show, yeah, he's not getting Rayquaza, but we're gonna give him something else for his story. Yeah, we could even still, like, if the series is going on for a year, they could potentially catch more Pokemon too, specifically Alt. Skeletor's bonked Rayquaza in the head 3 times. Alt needs a 3rd Pokemon. Just begging for Golisopod to be a Gen Pokemon Wind Wave. We'll see. Next week's episode should be interesting, with Agate having Mega Medicham and learning about the backstories of the other explorers. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to that too, in like maybe like the next 10 or 15 minutes. If I can get caught up in the chat, that is. I did say getting to your thoughts before you said your thoughts. Yep. Imagine the series being around 180, 190 episodes of Adventure for the Diamond Pearl series. I guess we'll find out. Good lord, YouTube, why do you keep doing this to me? Where was I? The only thing I wish happened was for there to be an episode where Skeletor changes to its Terra-type to Fairy before this battle, but what we got was good. Yep. Amber having Blood Moon Ursaluna is interesting because Amber and Diana will have Pokemon from the DLC, although we never got stuff with Ogerpon in the Disloyal 3. About that, I wonder if they could potentially do something in the time we have left with the series. Who knows? With Agate having a Megastone, it tells me that Coral could have Megalalian, Sidon could have Mega Aerodactyl. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, spring goes forward, which means we have an extra hour of daylight, but lose an hour at night, but I'm used to it. Kilowatt, I'm just saying, like, you know, that doesn't affect Japan at all. So, the episode's going to be airing an hour later, so I guess I get to sleep in a little bit more, but it gives me less time to actually do, like, a video in case we get, like, info that day. Or it could be, like, Mega Voltage where we get the day before. I don't know. But we'll see. If it ends up conflating with work, it might be delayed a little bit, but I'll try my best. Kilowatt was Roy's weakest mon, yeah. With the Gen 10 anime, I can see female protagonist get a fire starter, and then male protagonist getting the water starter, and then the protagonist getting the grass starter. That's if they're even like protagonists in the anime, though. That's a lot of assuming you're doing. Rayquaza's skull. This episode highlights the problem of Liko not having an air transport Pokemon. The series going on for another year. She can get Altaria, maybe. I mean, I guess it worked. Dragonite was able to accommodate both her and Alt. Have Liko catch 2 more Mons, and have Roy catch 2 more Mons, and have Dot catch 2 more Mons. What I'd love, I wouldn't make sense, but how about a Crown Tundra arc so Clarex actually has a proper anime appearance? Yeah, they kind of... I don't know why that Clarex didn't even like make an appearance in the previous series. That still doesn't make sense to this day. Anyways, I don't want to get on to the series that shall not be named. It's not named for a reason. Have them do something with Arven and the Herba Mystica stuff where they battle the Titan Pokemons. Yeah, I have some thoughts on that, but I'm gonna probably put it together for a video maybe next week or two. I just gotta get the time to do it. Maybe also something with Miraidon and Koraidon and the professors. Yeah. But yeah. We talked about this episode a little bit. So I did want to spend some... I guess we're going to go ahead and do this a little early. But I did want to talk about the next episode. So I find it kind of interesting. It seems like some of the predictions I made in the video I made the other day seem to be coming true. Because I like based on that summary, I had the feeling, I'm like, you know, this is where we could actually, you know, learn about Sango, Onyx, and Agate's backstories. Because it referred to Hamber as a teacher and them the students. So in my mind, that just screamed, okay, you know, they're acknowledging this, so we're gonna get some backstory, you know, with these characters back when Hamber was training them back in the day, and basically what they were up to before becoming explorers. I'm actually really excited for the next episode now. They even released the path designs for these characters. I might actually post that, make a post about that maybe in the next day or so. So they are kind of building up this episode quite a bit. So I'm actually really excited. for this episode. Before I get on with the chat anymore further, I just want to say a few things here about it. It looks like Sango, I'm not really sure. Maybe she was like, I don't know, maybe she was like bullied or something like that. Or if she just was the bully herself back in the day, and she ended up joining the Explorers at some point for some reason. Not really sure. Onyx kind of looks like he used to be like a punk. The one that I think is most interesting, surprisingly, is Agate. It looks like she was a school teacher or something. So maybe that kind of also fits why she was able to integrate herself into the Naraja Academy so well during Terrestrial debut. That was a subtle foreshadowing that she actually used to be a school teacher. So that's actually like really cool. So I'm actually kind of really excited to see what these characters are up to in the past. And then maybe, you know, Hamber a little bit more on his backstory. And then when it comes to Blood Moon Ursaluna, I thought maybe he had it in the past, but there's a chance that maybe he got it when he was in Kitakami with Diana, because she got Petrarunt, and maybe he got Blood Moon Ursaluna at the same time, because if so, that's crazy. Anyways, getting back to the chat here. If the series is going on for another year, please put Tulip and Kofu in the list of things to showcase. Yep. Have them go on to Area Zero where they encounter other past and future Paradox mons. That creep Spinel is definitely going to pay for what he has done. Karma is knocking on his rear end. Was not expecting the Mega in that trailer. Yeah, same. So, you know, one of them at least has a Mega Pokemon, so that's kind of neat. Agate was a teacher, so her having something like an Alakazam or Sigilyph would fit her. Agate really holding back, huh? Right? Oh, hey, what's up, Pokefan? Yeah, amazing episode. Loved it. Me too. Pretty alright. How about you guys? I'll say it changed my mind. I did originally have it as a 7 out of 10, but after discussion, I'm bumping up to an 8. Yep! I will say this really quickly, not to get into a whole thing here, but yeah, I did notice that the people that were upset online were pretty much people that don't even watch the series anyways. So, just putting it out there that the people that tend to not like this episode don't even watch the series regularly, so yeah. I'm bummed. Yeah, but I read that already. Roy catches Sandy Shock, so that would be cool. Oh, hey, executive judge. Hey, what's going on? Welcome in. I'm guessing Metachan. Yep, I think so. We get that battle between Megacham and Quackable. That'd be cool. Emerald hasn't been on these streams in a while. Emerald's doesn't seem to be a big fan of Horizons but yeah, unless he's like secretly watching it and we just don't know. The battle animation was satisfactory. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good in this episode. More of that, please, and thanks. I like the Area Zero Quaza fight a bit better because there was more movement around. It was a little bit... There was more characters that were kind of up fighting it, too. And it was also in frickin' Area Zero. The whole battle took place there, which is kind of crazy to see. But yeah. I do still like this battle a lot, too, just because it shows that they've... Like, Roy's even grown quite a bit, even since that previous encounter with Rayquaza. Alt himself has proven himself to be a pretty competent trainer, mainly with Dragonite, but yeah. He's still got a little ways to go. I'm honestly really worried about the big gap of Gen 10. I don't want Horizon to just have filler for the sake of filling in time after wrapping up the Silver Spin. I want to see them do something fun with it. Well, you know, there's a number of things they could probably do. Like I said earlier in the stream, I think we should probably wait until we get official information. And, you know, what happened last year, you know, 2 weeks after Pokemon Day, we literally got Mega Voltage poster that got revealed. And based on what I've heard, we're going to get a reveal on the 13th for the anime, so... Which we could get the day before, like we did last year, so... So in about less than 2 weeks, we're probably going to know what's next for the series. So my, all I would say for now is, let's wait and see what they announced is going to happen next. Look at the title summary of major events and the preview for the next episode. I'm so sad. Iron Bundle, the second best Violet Paradox overall, though. So my favorite one hasn't appeared in the series. Oof. I'm also in these live discussions. Probably gonna have the Orange Island type gap. I hope it's not like Orange Island-esque. I hope they actually like fill the gap with like maybe stuff we haven't tackled so far in the series and characters we haven't really showcased. Would be what I would like personally, but yeah. And then end it off with like a tournament and Naraja Academy between the characters and have Liko and Roy be the finalists or something like that, and then they tie. That would just be like something I'd want, but yeah. So they defeat Spinel in episode 132 and episode 133 to 135 could be the final battles. Roy versus Mona, Dot versus Penny, Roy versus Liko. You think that's it? You think that's just going to be it and then that's it, Sharon? Because I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. Again, let's wait until we get some more information. I don't mind if they don't show any other Violet Pokemon, Paradox Pokemon, as long as they show Iron Valiant, Iron Bundle. Yeah, what they do after that. What I'm curious about is how long did the writers know that the series was expanding for a year? The story feels a bit rushed since the time skip, but now they have another year to fill. I don't know, maybe it came as a shock that they basically, were pushing things back, but this is going to fundamentally change, like, everything. If Pokemon is going to be on a 5-year cycle now, that literally fundamentally changes everything. Like, that's going to make the series no longer predictable. And if it's 5 years, we could expect, like, 5 years for the next series. Just saying. 5 years for the manga, 5 years for, like, the TCG, like, yeah. We're kind of at that point, but I'm glad that the series has taken its time and actually, like, making a game instead of just throwing it out there and it's just terrible. We don't need that anymore after Scarlet and Violet, please and thanks. I was going to say, if these games came out and it was Scarlet and Violet 2.0, I think that would probably be it for me with the games. I'm concerned with what they will do with this series for another year if the Gen 10 releases spring-summer 2027. Again, I think, we should wait and see what the series has next. We can speculate what they can do, but, like, I feel like it's just doom and gloom. Every time I see something, they're like, what are you going to do for a year? I'm like, well, let's wait and see what the supposed, like, announcement's going to be on the 13th. I just feel like they might have something that's going to surprise us. Like, that's what I want. I would like a huge surprise. Because that would be freaking amazing if we got something like that. Super surprising. Or, like, they just subvert our expectations in a way that we didn't expect or see it coming from a mile away. I think that's what I would want more than anything. But I guess we'll find out in, like, 2 weeks, right? Anyways, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get done with the chat for this stream at this rate. Actually, you know what? I know it's likely we got Liko versus Roy one last time, but what I'd love is that we got Roy versus Dot or Liko versus Dot, because I don't think they actually got ever properly got that yet. I don't think so either, yeah. That'd be cool. But I love Pombon. That is all, yeah. I think he's, out of the three, he's definitely the winner. Firestarter wins once again. Gen 10 lasting at least 4 years, 2027, 2031. We'll see. God, going into the 2030s. Jeez Louise. Time to just put me in the retirement home at that point. Right? I love Pombon too. Gekwa as well. Grout is still my least favorite out of the 3, but that's growing on me. Yeah, that's kind of like my thought pattern. The other, like Ponbon, yeah, I like. The other 2, I'm kind of still, I need a little bit of time. All I gotta say is the memes that have come out in the last day have been glorious. If you have any memes, and you're in the Discord, if you find any memes that are funny, go ahead and put it in the memes chat. Please and thanks. I want more activity in my server too. Just saying. No pressure. I also could see a character in Gen 10 series having those Pikachu forms. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they debut them early and like maybe Horizons gets some Gen 10 stuff like towards the end of it before, you know, Gen 10 drops. Legends ZA anime series would be neat. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll do something like History Snow, but then again, that's like a very short-lived series. Also, I'm excited to be diving again. Last time we could do that was Oras in 2014. Oh god, 2014. I feel really old now. You said that again, mister. That was 12 years ago, bud. Sun and Moon's literally going to be a decade old at the end of the year. God help us all. I've literally been like in this community for like since 2014, 2015, so hey guys, we're gonna have our Pokemon live discussions in like 50 years and I'm gonna sound like this. I can't believe Gen 30 is out now. I don't know what it'd actually be at that point. It might be like Gen like 20 or something, depending on how long the games take. Like, we're gonna have our Gen 20 discussion. I don't even remember what happened in the episode. Maybe they did want Gen 10 to come out this year because big project releases for this holiday. Well, we don't really have anything for this holiday anymore for Pokemon. Maybe Nintendo is going to have something else, like maybe a new Mario game or something. That could be like the big holiday game. I'm not judging the stars until I see the final evolutions. Oh god. Don't jinx it. It could last like 100 years. God. We'll all be dead by then. I guess the next couple of generations will have to carry on. Will Pokemon even exist by then? Who knows? I need to send something I found. Be right back. Yes, please. Do it. Gekwa is not Inteleon to one of my evolves in the cool looking Komodo dragon. 12 years ago, that's like twice as much as 6 years ago. No way. And you want to know something else, Harlster? That's 4 times as much as 3 years, you know, the old Pokemon cycle. That's like 4 Pokemon cycles right there. Yikes. Knowing Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, Pokémon will become... No, we're not doing this. I'm like, we are not doing this. I doubt you'll be that old. In 50 years? I'd be lucky if I'm still here in 50 years. We ain't living in Gen 30, none of us are, which sucks, yeah. We need an Australia and South America pace region. Know something else? That's like 12 times more than 1 year. No way! Mind blown! What? And 24 times more than 6 months. And then 48 times more than 3 months. Woo! Christmas was no, actually no, Christmas was 2 months ago. Thanksgiving was 3 months ago. Woo! Where is this conversation going? Have Pombon evolve into a bigger, floofier looking doggo. I dig it. I want dark fighting. Castaway Pokemon. Cassowary Pokemon. If you know, you know. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think Pokemon is definitely gonna be out of ideas, but yeah, Gen 30, they're gonna be like, we have to do like regionals of regionals of regionals at that point. Regional variants. There was an old video from like a while back. I think it was around the time Gen 5 was coming out. They were just like in the boardroom. They're just one guy just casually just swears or whatever as they're trying to come up with Pokemon ideas, and that was Gen 4 to 5. I've liked grass elephant starter instead of another grass bird. See, that's the thing is like the grass bird and like the water gecko. I'm like, we kind of already been there, done that. I was kind of hoping for something a little different, but yeah, I guess. Be surprised to see them be streaming by then. Steaming by then. Final Evolution does not have to look fierce. True. I love the idea of a grass psychic, fire fairy, and water poison for the Final Evolution typings. As long as we don't get fire fighting, I'm good. Cool, cute but cool looking final stages. I want a grass armadillo Pokemon. Broat is more a fire version of Torchic. Yeah. It's an angry bird. Literally. Water Platypus starter would have been nice, yeah. Bacon Beer Ninja, hey, what's up? Please make Ponbon a big ball fluff. He already is a big ball fluffed. They're never going to do a water platypus because of Temtem. Oh yeah, I took it. That attacks by rolling and and opens. So he's Sonic the Hedgehog. Opponents. I'll just stop for a second to say, hey, if you guys could do me a favor and hit that like button. We were at 11 likes. Yay, thanks. Thanks, guys, for getting us over 10 likes. Next goal is 15 likes. Can we do it, y'all? If you've already liked the stream, you've already done your part. But if you haven't already, a like is appreciated. And also, vote in the poll. 10-9 is still winning. We have 20 votes! Oh, somebody did not like this episode, apparently, and voted lower than 5. If so, show yourself. Or is that you, Fizz? If you're just lurking in the chat somewhere, it's time to show yourself. And why was this episode lower than 5, in your opinion? No, you're good. When the Gen 5 starters were revealed, the grass starter was the most popular. Yeah. I mean, Oshawott. I like Oshawott. I mean, Gen 5's a weird gen because, like, I like the games. The Pokemon in that game is probably one of my, I don't hate it completely, but, like, some of them it's just like, woo, bat, woo. And also, you got another bat, you got another rat, you know. Some of the mons that gen were a bit alright, on the alright side. Piplup was pretty popular. I think Chimchar is still my favorite, even though I do like Piplup a lot. Yeah, having fat fingers. I'm hearing that Gen 10 takes place in Southeast Asia. I've heard Philippines, which I guess that would make sense. I just heard my little brother say something that I hope never comes true. Oh. Context. And that is? It was me. I voted lower than 5 because no Ponbon appearance. Oh. So every episode for like the next year is going to be lower than 5, I see. Okay, I see how it is. See, Ponbon is the most popular gen. It's already the most popular one. It's only been a day and it's already like people have done polls and I've seen it just out-blitz the other two. Again, bro. His name is Peanut. I think Ponbon is based off some Asian breed of dog. Probably. He said, and I quote, "Hey, I saw the new Pokemon thingy. Do you think they'll have a Pokemon that looks like a toilet this generation?" Oh, no. No. No way. No, 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 no. Dude, do you know how paranoid that'd be? It'd be like, hey, I need to use the restroom, and then you go there and it's just Pokemon battle immediately. But I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah. I'm going to choose Ponbon, Gekwa, and Winds and Waves. Maybe towards the end of Horizon they'll show some Gen 10 stuff. More than likely they did that in the series that shall not be named for Scarlet and Violet, so yeah. Pomerania? And then you can guess what he said after that, but I refuse to say it. I have a little shame, but even I have my limits. That was my exact same reaction. Yeah. Not the brain rot. Oh god. No, don't expose him. Take the brain rot away. Surprised the legendaries were not revealed. Yeah, it was actually kind of a little bit. That was kind of interesting, but then again, we are presumably over a year away from these games releasing, so this was just a tease, a first look, so to say, as the the title of the trailer says so. So. Maybe we'll learn as we get closer. I don't expect us to see anything new for a while. We got a little bit of while to kind of speculate what we're going to see next, so yeah. What are y'all going to nickname your starters? I don't typically nickname mine. I just go by their normal names, but if I had a choice, I guess we'd name Ponbon Toby Fox. Because why not? And he said the thing, and I'm like, oh, I hate that twice as much now. Yeah. I don't even want to know. Gen 10 has a new character with the new male Pikachu form. Isn't it Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew or something? Is their canon names? Interesting. More chews. Watch. Calling it now. They're going to replace Captain Pikachu with these two Pikachus. They're going to be like the new mascots for the next Pokemon anime. Calling it right now. Rip Captain Pikachu. 2023 to 2027. We'll probably get more news in August, maybe a closer general release date in 2027. We might not even have that release date until next Pokemon Day, but I guess we'll see. We haven't. When was the last time we did an August Presents? Because they used to do 2 Presents a year, but it's been kind of slowing. They've been slacking a bit on that. Maybe we'll get one finally this year. Again. If we can get the games, don't have a Switch tube, I'd name them either Bon or Borf. That's funny. Well, you got over a year to get ready. I'm just gonna put it out there that you probably should get a Switch 2 sooner than later, because the prices of them, gaming consoles and all kinds of things in general might be going up here. So you might want to take that into consideration Just saying. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew. Maybe hot take, but I hate pixel art Pokemon and from Pokemon Black and White 2. They look so ugly compared to Pokemon from this game. The 2 units from Heroes, Might and Magic 2, and gosh, Pokemon so ugly. I would consider that a massive hot take. Black and White 2 were great games. I just think some of the Pokemon designs were a little bit on the lame side, but I would disagree with the pixel art. I actually I wouldn't mind a Pokemon game that kind of throws back to that style. Kind of like, you know how some games have been doing that. Don't necessarily need like HD 2D Pokemon, but like it'd be cool if you had like a throwback game to that style. And not like something like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. So yeah, I would definitely label that a hot take. And I do want to see more from these new games. I do like the fact that we have a lot of time before they come out, and I do think that this is going to make these games a lot more valuable and better than what we got with Scarlet and Violet. But I do want to see more from the game, so we can get a little bit more. Because this is just a tease for now. It's a very positive start, and everybody seems to be on board with it so far. But I still want to see more, so I don't want to imagine if like Winds and Waves comes out and it ends up being bad anyways, you know. I don't think that's going to be the case this time around, but I do want to see more before I start to be like, okay, yep, they locked in it, I'm sold. You know. But this is a good start. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm more on the optimistic side this time around, so we'll see. Pikachu has so many forms, right? I don't know if I'm ever getting to Switch 2. Well, I mean, you still got over a year to decide, so. But again, I'm just putting it out there that we might be seeing some price hikes here, so I'm just giving you that friendly advice. So far, given how they've described Kikua's personality, I'd call it my ex. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is a joke. Gotcha. I wonder what the Pikachu clone will be for Gen 10. I don't know. I hate the fact that the new gen is only on Switch 2. But Thomas, the problem though is that the Switch 1 would just hold the game back. The Switch 1 is like, I like the Switch, the original Switch, but like technically, you know, it's very limited. Switch 2 is a much more powerful console, and you're going to be able to see a much better product on Switch 2 Pokemon versus what we've gotten on Switch 1. I mean, we don't want Scarlet and Violet 2.0, which this would be that if it came out on Switch 1. Let's just be real. And the performance that Scarlet and Violet had on the Switch, it's good that it's only on the Switch 2, which can handle more, right? Well, Gen 5 had the Volcarona, one of my favorites, but Golisopod is my number one go. I do like Volcarona. I'm not saying like every Pokemon from Gen 5 was like lame. I'm saying there was a couple there that were kind of just eh. Mainly some of the earlier like mons that you encounter in the games is what I was meaning. I like the legendaries in 5. Do you like Alt after this episode? I mean, I haven't minded Alt for a while. I think he's grown a lot as a character. This is an episode that really shows he's matured quite a bit. He's still a bit of a tsundere, you know. He still has that personality. But, like, he showed a lot of maturity and growth in this episode, even if he was upset that he didn't get the Black Rayquaza. Like, that shows a lot of maturity on his side. And that's good character development right there, in my opinion. For Pompon, Floof, Gekwa, Boss, and Rock Lee. I've seen the Rock Lee comparison. It's kind of interesting. More of like the Angry Birds, but like I can see Rock Lee there. I'm guessing the next new Pokemon that will get revealed are the legendaries, Regional Bird, Rodent, Pika Clone, Regional Bug. Yep, we'll see. Only people crying about having to upgrade the Switch 2 are the Brokies. I'm enjoying the stream so far. Gotcha. I try my best. Let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, Switch 1 is literally going to be turning 9 in a couple days. So like we have the next console and it's, you know, more powerful. I mean, it's just Switch 2, but like it's more powerful. The thing is, do we really want the next Pokemon games to be on Switch 1 when we have Switch 2? I don't. I know that Legends EA did Switch 1, Switch 2 versions, but like, we also need to be able to like sell the Switch 2, you know, because like, why even like bother with a Switch 2 if we can just get it on Switch 1, you know? But yeah, I imagine that the Gen 10 anime with the main character will ride on hoverboards. Interesting. Gen 5 had Haxorus, Bisharp, Volcarona, Braviary, Mincio. The Switch 1, Gen 10 would either be fully broken or just crash constantly. Yep. So the Switch 1 generally might explode on the inside. Put GTA 6 on Switch 1 and your house is probably gone, bro. It's just gonna blow up. I'm hearing Gen 10 will have voice acting in the cutscenes. From who? I've heard nobody say this. And we have no idea what's gonna be what. Scrafty is pretty cool on lip here. Yep, Crocodile. Yep. Also, I was saying in my head that when we see Mega Dragonite, looked up and saw the rock falling, my mind went like Mega Dragonite meet Big Rock. What do you think about Mega Voltage episodes? Many people hate that episode. I don't hate Mega Voltage. I just think that Mega Voltage, there's a lot of meandering going on in Mega Voltage and a lot of fast pacing like going on. I also had a very unsatisfactory like final episode too. It's one of the weaker arcs in my opinion in Horizons, but I don't totally hate it. There's still some things I do like in Mega Voltage. Miraculous 365, 10 out of 10. Roy finally achieved his goal, but I'm glad we got more of a backstory for Alt. I got a little bit. We know about his dad now, so maybe we'll see his dad. Maybe with the extra time we're getting, maybe we'll run into Alt's dad at some point. Be neat. Imagine Rayquaza will Mega Evolve in the 1 hour special. I guess we'll see what happens, Sharon. Pokemon games need voice acting. It's not an excuse anymore since the later Pokemon games have had more cutscenes. I think the problem is, and people pointed this out with Legends ZA, there are clearly cutscenes which, the way the characters act, you know, it clearly like begs for like voice acting, but they just don't have it. So it just comes off looking awkward. I would like voice acting at this point. I mean, they don't even have to have it for like everything. It could be like Zelda, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where, you know, it's cutscenes and stuff like that, but like out in like, you know, the regular days, you know, in Zelda terms, people just make grunts and noises when you talk to them. I don't think they're gonna do the same for Pokemon, but just do that for like cutscenes and stuff. And like meeting characters or gym leaders and stuff like that. I think we kind of need it at this point, but hey, I don't know what they're gonna do. Imagine Nimona seeing Roy with shiny Rayquaza. Yeah, she'd be probably impressed and want to battle him. I'll say knowing GTA 6 comes out this November. That's if it comes out still. How much of this 2027 release date we want to work on the game? Because we want to work on the game more versus we ain't releasing this at the same time as GTA 6. Yeah, that's the thing. I've seen people talk about, like, someone said Pokemon, not even Pokemon wants to compete with GTA 6. I mean, in Japan, Pokemon's clearly going to be the winner, but like in America and Europe, I'm just sorry. GTA 6 wins. GTA 6 is the follow-up to the second best-selling video game of all time. GTA 5 is in the over 200 million sales mark. Scarlet and Violet's under 30 million. It's not even a contest. Granted, GTA 5 also has multi-platform, but yeah, that's still over 200 million. That's an insane figure. So, I mean, GTA 6, I don't think it's going to sell nearly as well as 5, but it's probably going to break, like, sales records in the United States and Europe and all different areas, just not Japan. But imagine, I was going to say, the economy would just blow up if, like, both of those games are out, though. Even if Pokemon doesn't win that battle, that's still contributing to, like, an economy just flourishing suddenly, for being real. Since the series is extended, let's give Liko Swabble and then to Atari and then Alt low kicks. Maybe. Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom just had voice acting in the cutscenes, so why can't Pokemon? Yep, I already said that. Like, I can see it being both, but I wonder how much of GTA 6 contributed to them waiting a year. I mean, it could have. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, the entire gaming industry is anticipating this game, so maybe they just put it into consideration because they moved the date to November 19th. So maybe Pokemon's like a couple months later. I don't know. We'll see. I don't mind not having voice acting as long as the characters appear in the anime. Oh, hey, what's up, Kevin? Protagonists can remain silent, but have the rivals, gym leaders, professors have voice acting. And yep. So relieved that they're releasing Wind and Wave at a release in 2027. The trailer felt really sloppy. They definitely need more time. I wouldn't say sloppy. There was a few things when I was reacting to it yesterday that there's like a few, like I'm just saying that there's a few scenes I noticed that were like slightly rough. The water looked great. Let's just be real. The water looks fantastic in that trailer. That's the best I've ever seen in a Pokemon game. I don't think it's the best I've ever seen in a video game, but it looks really good. It's got an aesthetic from like the early 2000s. Like a lot of those games were just showing off like, hey, look, we can make the water look pretty. In different ways too. But yeah. Do you have a favorite starter? Yeah, Pombon. Maybe a hot take. Pokemon X and Y anime movies doesn't look good. It doesn't have the huge impact. Just look at G Gundam. Gundam G, Shining Finger, Sword, Burning Finger. Yep. I mean, you're comparing, you know, it's like an apples to orange comparison, though. You're comparing Gundam to Pokemon. And I will say I'm not a big fan of the X and Y movies, personally. That's just me, though. In the Gen 10 anime, we have the protagonists go jet skiing on the water. That'd be cool. I don't know why they are moving Horizons at a super fast pace if we have at least another year for Horizons. Well, like I said earlier in the stream, in about 2 weeks, we're probably going to learn what's next for the series. So I guess we'll see what they're doing until we go to Gen 10. I just want them to subvert our expectations and do something completely different. Thoughts on the protagonist designs? I like them more than Scarlet and Violet's protagonist. Generic school outfit designs. They actually look like varied characters again. Thank you. Wind Waker was better looking water. It's in its style, yeah. Very stylistic choice that has aged very well. Maybe they'll give us a new Pokemon movie this year. We've been saying that for the last few years, though. Do you really think we're going to get one unless they actually, like, announce it soon? Unless it's a Horizons movie or something. I have no idea at this point. I want them to create a memorable town. We didn't get that in Scarlet and Violet at all. Looked the same. Yeah, Scarlet and Violet's towns really sucked. And a lot of its environments just looked like it was just tacked on. I think the only one that was kind of, like, somewhat memorable was Levincia. And that was mainly because of the city theme was actually really good. And then I guess the one town in Kitakami, though. Like, but even then, it's just... Yeah. Do you play Might and Magic games or Fallout? I haven't played Fallout in a long time. I played it very briefly, just trying it out at a friend's house. do like the aesthetic of the Fallout games, though. But yeah. Also, I'm glad Sableye and Kilowattrel got a moment to battle. I love Kilowattrel. I got a decent hit, and love that Sableye confused Ray for a moment in the episode. Yep. Bowtree City, but just jaw. Only other just jaw dropping. Well, the outfit customization in ZA, don't think we'll get that in one wave. We'll see. We still don't know anything much about the games. I mean, we are getting 2 Pokemon spin-off games this year, so we are getting something Pokemon related. Yep. And then XD is coming to NSO too. And then Firelight Leaf Green just came out, re-release. It's Kitakami. She's going to Luvencia Kitakami. Yep. I just see Iono streaming it. We need a Pokemon forms and Pokepia during the anime, like Molslack and Peekaboo. Stereo form Rotom appears in the anime, like Royal doesn't much exist in anime. I don't know what you mean by that. I think they did a good job in this episode. They've been pretty prominent in like part 2 of Horizons. We should have gotten a new Pokemon Coliseum game, yeah. Like Pokemon, but it doesn't feel 3-stage evolution. It feels like Dash Bun and Pyroar had a baby. Love the baby lizard. If it's its final isn't Dragon Water, he's mine. Yeah, we'll see. Hey guys, we've been going on for over an hour. I didn't even realize how long it's been going. Like, the chat has been very overwhelming today, so I've been having a hard time keeping up. But we are over an hour into the stream, so I just want to say, is there anything else you guys want to chit chat about before we head on out? Remember to like the stream. If you haven't already, we're at 12 likes. Can we get 3 more to get 15? And remember to vote in the poll if you haven't. We got 22 votes. 10-9 is still winning 68% of the votes. Next episode, do you think Agate will withdraw the Explorers? It looks like she's getting a lot of focus next episode. I don't know about withdrawing. We're at least gonna know about her backstory and probably why she ended up joining Explorers. I'm actually really excited about all this. Been wanting their backstories for a while. Would they release the Pokemon forms from Pokepia into the mainline games? Probably not. Unless there's something interesting. Or interesting way to get them over. I don't know. Had fun, man. See you soon. Bye. Okay. Thanks for hanging with us today. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Will they do something anime related for Champions? Probably. I don't know. You're asking a lot of questions I cannot answer, Sharon. 8 out of 10 episode. What do you think happens next episode? Most of what we see is Agate song going on, succeeding, but part of me sees it ending in a stalemate of sorts. A draw. It's hard to say. This could be like a final test for them. Of sorts. To see if they're worthy of being, you know, his students. But I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, look, a Pokemon Lo-Fi remix. What do you think about Liko, Roy, Dot, and Alt? I actually genuinely like all the characters. Liko's been at least doing a little bit more lately. I felt like in part 2 of Horizon she kind of dropped off a bit, but things have been a little bit better for her lately. Roy has really come a long way. I think him and Fuecoco, like from Fuecoco to Skellydirge, has to be one of the best developments in the anime. Love it. Frickin' good. Dot, I liked Dot earlier in Horizons a little bit more. I feel like she's kind of slightly dropped off a bit. Though the last episode really kind of pumped her back up a bit. I was just been a little bit, not disappointed, but I feel like, you know, her character, like, a lot of her character arc is kind of concluded, but she's still here. She can still develop in her own way, I guess, but, you know, she went from someone that didn't even want to be, like, too friendly with Liko and Roy and, like, leave her room. She didn't care about social interactions to slowly making her way out, and here she is, hanging out with them all the time. It's kind of neat. Very different for Pokemon to do something like that. And Alt, I think he kind of was one of those slow growers. A lot of people did not like Alt at first, and I wouldn't say I hated him, but I was neutral on him. But over time, he's grown on me. I like him a lot more. He still has a few moments that I get annoyed with him, but he has grown a bit in the short time we've had with him compared to the others. She seems pretty emotional. I was expecting her to be a teacher. Didn't expect kindergarten. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like I said, that kind of ties into her, you know, integrating herself into the Naraja Academy as a teacher. I guess that kind of checks out. So it was a subtle foreshadowing to the fact that she was a teacher this whole time. I want Hammer and Blood Moon Ursula to succeed, especially since it's a debut episode, but I feel like those three kind of have to succeed. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yes, in episode 132, Spinel gets defeated. We'll see. And the episode after the Explorer is that 1 hour special, or the one after that. It's the 1 hour special is the 13th. Especially if there's supposed to be big obstacles in the way of destroying the Requiem. Dot was shy and antisocial, but became friends with Liko and Dot, and then went out into the world more. Really came on her own. I wonder if Perrin helped with Hamber in getting Blood Moon Ursaluna. I doubt that, but okay. We'll see. I know she helps you in the games, but games, anime, do different things. Dot was one of my favorite in the beginning, but after Mega Voltage, Dot kind of stopped growing. All I find annoying, especially to expected to love him, but he is annoying. Oh, okay. I thought the 20th was a special. Thank you for the info. No, the 13th is the 1 hour special. I don't know about the 20th yet. I don't know if we've figured out if there's an episode airing that day or not. I don't know. It seems like he's had his Pokemon for a while. Yeah. Will Diana appear in the next episode? I have no idea, Sharon. We could, if anything, it could be like a flashback, but yeah, which shows him getting Blood Moon Ursaluna when him and Diana were in Kitakami. But I don't know. We'll find out in six days. All right, this will be the last call for likes and votes. So if you haven't liked the stream, go ahead and do that. We're at 13 likes, 2 more to 15. And last call for votes. 23 votes. Vote while you can. I have nothing else left to say. Gotcha. What do you think about Rayquaza versus Skeledirge fight? I already gave my thoughts earlier in the stream. I said Rayquaza was already damaged quite a bit, and its special attack and special defense were lowered. The moment with Skeledirge doing a bunch of different attacks to lower Dragon Descent and grab onto it and then blast it with Flamethrower, I thought that was actually pretty cool. I'll see you next Saturday for the episode 130 discussion. Yep, 13 likes. Wow, that's a first. I've actually gotten more in the past in some of the bigger streams, but hitting 10 is a little bit of a chore. it's a chore to get to nowadays. But we clinched it today and got 13 likes. So we can do better though. If we got 23 votes, we could, should have 23 likes. You know what I mean? Just saying. Oh, I spin all kept or Onion Zerga's employees when he knows he works for Amethio. Maybe that was his plan all along. Spindle seems to play chess a lot, so maybe he planned ahead of time and kept them on the payroll in order to get them later on. I don't know. Just assuming at this point. Oh, getting kind of hungry. Yeah, to track Amethio. Yeah, checks out to me. I just wish we got an episode with Amethio gathering some of the Zygarde cells. That's something that I wish we got. I mean, it sounds boring, but you can make it interesting. We see complete the form Zygarde in episode 132. Yeah, probably. Alright, anything else before we head on out, guys? We're kind of pushing to the 1.5 hour mark here, so I kind of think we probably should wrap up. I'm getting kind of hungry myself. So is there anything else you guys want to chit-chat about before we head on out? What do you think about Terrapagos? I think it's funny. Turtle dialogue with his first trainer was really sad. I like Terrapagos. He's a fun little guy. He's just very curious. Nothing left to say. Alright, you already told me that once already. Can't wait to finish the second half of Mega Voltage next month. The first half isn't super boring. The second half looks really good. Yeah, I won't spoil for you, but the last episode, maybe the dub will maybe do it a little bit better, but probably not. But the last episode was not the best finale compared to other arcs. I'll let you go, Mitchell. Enjoy the rest of your weekend lunch. Alright, Kevin, thanks for hanging out with us again. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Hello, kind of getting hungry myself. How are you doing? I am very hungry. I wonder what I should get today. Maybe Subway. I don't know. Whatever sounds good to me. Jokes aside, I have nothing left. Alright. Well, seeing as that's the case, I like Terrapagos. He's funny sometimes. Yep. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. We got 23 votes. Someone did not like the episode, but 10-9 still came out on top. So 9 out of 10 episode, in my opinion, and that's what we will rate this episode. Alrighty, y'all. I pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about today. Next week is going to be interesting. We are finally getting back into gaming streaming. Probably going to be doing Fire Red, since it seems like everybody voted for that in the poll I put out the other day. So probably Monday we'll be doing Fire Red. So hopefully you'll join me for those Let's Plays. I might, when I get some time, I might make a video about what I think might be next for the series. So yeah. See you next time. Hope you enjoy your food and hope everyone has a good day, evening. Yep. Thanks. Thank you. Alright, y'all. So we got a few things planned for this next week. So hopefully I'll see you guys next week. And maybe we'll get a summary for this 1 hour special. Last I saw there was no summary, so I haven't decided if I'm going to do a video on that yet or not. But until we get said summary. But anyways, that's all I got for today's stream. So if you're still here, thank you so much for joining. Have a good day or night, River Rat, and I will see you all later. Bye now.